What is up, guys and gals and guys? Thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us today. Today, we're going to be looking at the second buff character from update 2.1.8, and that is Gigagoo. And we're going to be answering the really important questions that need to be answered with this particular card. Number one, can he be played in the current meta for Frag Pro Shooter? And number two, how do I play him? And what do I have to do in order to get value out of him? We're going to answer all that, and then for a little bonus, we're going to tell you our final thoughts on this change for the update and give you three tips and tricks for mastering this character. But now with that being said, let me introduce you to Gigagoo. Now that you have been properly introduced to Gigagoo, I guess we need to tell you what actually changed with this particular character. And is he actually legendary? Let's find out here. But here's the changes from update 2.1.8. Gigagoo needed a boost, so we improved the weapon's effect and HP. General HP was increased by 13.6%. Basically, he just has a little more health. And the Gooper, the primary weapon, poison effect increased by 11%, and the slow effect increased by 12.5%. Basically what this means is the gun now has a little bit more of a poison burn off and a little bit more of a slow effect. Honestly, I don't really notice the slow effect, but I do notice the poison burn off being a little bit more, as he does do a tiny bit more damage, it feels like. But I mean, now that he's been changed, I'm sure you guys want to know, how do we play this card to the best of its abilities? So I'm going to give you 3 tips and tricks on how to do that, and we're going to be rolling into tip number 1. And tip number 1 for Flubber's cousin is learn the bouncing projectile. His projectile is extremely strange. Basically, it has very short range, but it bounces, and that's when you're going to get most of your damage on the targets. Also, whenever it bounces, it leaves behind a slight poison residue that helps you out with a little bit of additional damage down the channel. But the projectile is tricky to learn, so I recommend taking some time and learning how to arc your shot to get the most distance possible out of this character's weapon. Let's move into tip number 2. Tip number 2 is this. Only use the ultimate ability, the ability to explode, if you're going to get the elim. Whenever you use this ability, he loses a lot of health because it's parts of him going everywhere. So in order to preserve this character's life, you need to really time this ultimate ability to make sure you get a guaranteed kill, and you can take that time to heal to get all that health back that you just spent to eliminate that character. This will take timing and learning the character a little bit more in depth, but definitely something worth knowing for Gigagoo. And tip number 3 for Gigagoo goes a little something like this, and it may be something most people don't know. The projectile can stick to a wall, so you can use this to fire from a safe spot and get the explosion damage from the projectile onto opponents' characters. This is a very interesting trick that you can learn how to do with Gigagoo. It does take some learning though, so just understand it's one bounce then stick. That's the rule of thumb for learning how to stick a projectile to a wall. Now, that being said, these are the 3 tips and tricks that are going to help you master your Gigagoo gameplay, because this is a fun character, guys, I do think. And I think that he's one of the cooler design characters as far as the skins go as well. But now let's talk about the update itself for this card and what our overall thoughts are, as well as our grade for the Gigagoo changes. So let's start simple. Gigagoo needed something. He got an HP increase, and he got an increase to his projectile. Sorry, I was confused by something there. And basically, this has done, in my personal opinion, almost nothing for him. The issues with Gigagoo were not the fact that his damage was a little low, which it was, so I'm happy to see that increase. But the issues with Gigagoo is the delivery method for his damage is too time consuming to learn, for lack of a better term. Basically, this character always did okay damage. It was only okay, it was never fantastic, but he didn't have a way to efficiently deliver that okay damage, which made him feel very, very weak. So by increasing this, you really don't notice the changes because he's still delivering that damage in the same style, which was the issue to begin with. So I do appreciate the HP increase, though. That's probably the best part of his overall update. But as a card in Frag, this is a unique card with unique abilities and a fun play style for somebody that really wants to take the time to master him. You do have to master him to get value out of this card, and that's okay. I would rather have that than a no skill, no brain card like we've had recently. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't, go look at the first rendition of Wave, for example. Link to that will pop up in the top right. But overall, guys, the update, I don't really notice it for this card. I do think that he still needs to have a better delivery method for his damage, and I think that would really solve the problems for Gigagoo. Now, in order to be meta in the game, he's going to need another damage increase as well, because the cards that are currently in the game that are being run as meta cards are inflicting damage far more efficiently than this card can do right now. And that's just the simple truth. Now, guys, we are coming to the end of this video. We're going to finish out this match, and then we're going to officially show you our score for Gigagoo. And we're going to do it a different way this time, as we're going to show you on the Frag scoreboard how we rate Gigagoo. But if you guys could, I have two videos that'll be rolling along with the round at the end of the video. One of them will be the other update, which was for Buck, and there may be a playlist with 500 plus videos on it of Frag Pro Shooter and the changes over the years that you guys may enjoy as well. So check one of those out for me. Also, leave a like on the video if you haven't done that already. Also, I appreciate that, and subscribe as well. But now let's move in to the actual grades. That's right, for Gigagoo using Frag's grading system? Question marks in the chat. So here we go. Alright, so let's grade Gigagoo. We're going to give him a 3 stars for fun. And he needs a more dependable delivery method for his damage. This is his biggest holdup, guys. This is the only issue I have, and because of that, he is going to be on the weak side of the Frag scale. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.